Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another, hopefully for you, I know for me, exciting episode of the David Hittle Real Estate Show, brought to you by United Real Estate Louisville. So, if you're unfamiliar with the David Hittle Real Estate Show, I am David Hittle. I'm a realtor here in Louisville, Kentucky. I have uh, performed real estate in the surrounding area of Louisville, and I am here to help you. If you are interested in real estate at all, you like to see homes, you like to know what's going on in the real estate market, you think my beard looks cool, hit the subscribe button in the lower right hand corner of the screen, and that will get you your VIP pass to the David Hittle Real Estate Show and knowing when I will be posting things and keeping you apprised of all of that. So, today, on today's episode of the David Hittle Real Estate Show, we are talking about how, when it comes to selling a house, your time is money. So, this is very important. This is very thought provoking. Maybe you are someone who wants to sell their home. Maybe you're thinking about trying to sell it yourself, being a FSBO, as we call it, or a for sale by owner. Well, before you decide that you want to journey down that path, I hope you will think about some of the things that I'm going to touch on today and some of the things that you should take into account when it comes to owning a home and then trying to sell a home. So I will first off tell you that selling a home is no easy task. It is no small task. There's a lot of paperwork. There's a lot of data. There's a lot of marketing. There's a lot of stuff, that goes into the selling of your home. So if you decide to try to sell the home yourself, keep in mind you will be responsible for all the expert level work that a real estate professional normally conducts for you. So, the first major thing that you must know or that you must do or that we, when we're working together, must do is pricing the home. So, the very first thing I do as a realtor, whenever I'm going to what we call a listing appointment to meet a prospective client who's thinking about selling their home, is that we have to figure out what the price of the home is going to be. So, with that, I conduct what I call a professional equity assessment report, a PAIR. And what that consists of is going back through the sales data for the surrounding area around that home and figuring out what everything else around the home sold for. In that, I'm trying to compare apples to apples and oranges to oranges. If the home I'm going to go look at is a ranch, then I'm going to compare it to other ranches. If it has a basement, then I'm going to compare it to other homes with a basement. If it has 3-bedroom, 2-bath, I'm going to try to compare it to 3-bedroom, 2-bath homes. And in that process, that normally for me, if I'm doing a high level valuation, can take a couple of hours, I will develop the number or the recommended number with a recommended number, a high number, and a low number to be able to present to my client or my prospective client to determine where we should price the home. The second thing that goes into that is how much the homeowner, the prospective client, still owes on their mortgage. Because if I'm going in order to sell their home, I want them to at least get back a good sizable profit. Normally, when somebody's selling their home, they're going to buy another home. So if they sell their home for a high enough price, then they have a very sizable down payment for their next home, maybe 20%, maybe more for their next home just by selling their current home. So I put all that into the formula, and it is one of the very first things that I do as a realtor when I have a prospective client looking to sell their home. The next is listing and marketing. So, listing and marketing are two different things. They seem similar, but they're not. Listing the home is just putting it on our MLS, putting it on our multiple listing service. And some of the work is done by the multiple listing service when we list that home on the market. So once we list the home on the market, we have visited the home, we've gotten all the specs for the home. In my case, I've had a professional photographer go and photograph the home. I've had an appraiser come through the home and measure every room to make sure that I'm getting and that the client is getting the maximum amount of money per square foot possible. And potentially, if I think it's necessary, I have had someone come through and get the home professionally cleaned so that it is ready for the masses. So once we list the home on our multiple listing service, the multiple listing service spreads that listing throughout the internet like tentacles on an octopus. It posts to Zillow. It posts to Realtor.com. It posts to Trulia. It posts to my own personal website. It posts to my real estate brokerage's website. It then gets mass emailed by me out to everyone that I personally know and everyone who is a member of my MLS, which is like 5,000 plus people, who have a client who has indicated their liking of that type of property. And from there, it spreads throughout the state, throughout the city, and perhaps even throughout the world. I then do my own personal marketing to where I have an electronic flyer that I send out to all of the agents that I've worked with, to all of my potential clients. I have a database of clients, potential clients that I send these flyers out to, and I also produce one for the information box that will sit by the side of the road, so that a person doesn't necessarily have to go onto the internet. They can, if they're driving by the house, can stop, grab a flyer, and keep driving without ever having to bother the homeowner. That's important. The next thing, which is all encompassed in this, is legal documentation. We'll have a listing contract. We'll have agency contracts. We have agency relationship contracts. We have marketing agreements. We have, goodness, just trying to think of the stack of paperwork that I bring to the seller's home on that day that I am doing the listing appointment, just so they can see, and if they're ready to list that day, just so we can get everything signed and it's all legal and everything is started on the right track. From there, you've got um, residential sales contracts, the actual offer that the buyer submits to the seller in order to purchase the home. They have agency agreements. There's repair request agreements. There's appraisal contingencies. There's homeowner already contingencies. So the buyer, if they own a home already and they're wanting to buy your home, there may be a contingency for that. There is a lot of legal documentation involved in the home buying, home selling process. And it's huge. In with that professional cleaning, we also have staging decisions. So if the homeowner is wanting to move out, they're taking all their furniture, they're storing all their furniture. Maybe they've already bought their new home and they've taken all their furniture to their new home. We may need to professionally stage the home to make a potential buyer look and know what each room does. That's a whole nother thing we have to worry about. Another thing, safely arranging houses and showings. I could not imagine, especially in today's market where everything is hot as lava, hot as fire. The market is insane. Having a sign in my front yard with my number on it and people calling me all day, every day, wanting to see my house, wanting to come inside my house, complete strangers. I have no idea who they are. And sometimes when I say, yes, you can come over, they could spend hours looking at my house, talking to me about my house, etc., etc. When you have a realtor, the realtor won't let anybody see your house unless they have a realtor with them. That way, it's not you and the buyer that are constantly in communication. It's them and their agent, or them and your agent, rather than them and you. It gets a lot of headache. I have a seller who indicated that when they were selling their home themselves, there was one couple that came to their house with their children. The children ran through the house, destroyed the house, threw everything everywhere, were complete chaoses, and the couple stayed there for over 2 hours. I could not imagine that. That's 2 hours of your life that somebody else has taken, and then they didn't even buy the house. So safely arranging open houses and showings, letting complete strangers in your home with you there to communicate with you. Negotiating with all the parties. If you are selling the home yourself, you get to negotiate with the buyer. You get to negotiate with the buyer's agent. You get to negotiate with the buyer's broker. You may get to negotiate with the buyer's attorney if they get one involved. You get to negotiate with the home inspector who works for the buyer. You get to negotiate with the appraiser who works for the buyer's lender. You may get to negotiate with the lender. You may get to negotiate with pest inspectors. You may get to negotiate with surveyors. You have to negotiate with all of those people. And then if the first buyer has you negotiate with all those people and they step back, then you get to do it again with another buyer. With a realtor, your realtor is the one that takes all the headache. Your realtor is the one that takes the stress upon their shoulders. The buyer's agent doesn't call you. The buyer's attorney doesn't call you. The buyer's broker doesn't call you. Home inspectors don't call you. Appraisers don't call you. Pest inspectors don't call you. Surveyors don't call you. They call me. They call your realtor. And we pick up our phone all hours of the day and night. Finally, when you're thinking of selling your home, and again, it's all about your time and all about money when it comes to selling your house. Last but not least is navigating local laws and regulations. So there may be solicitation laws in your neighborhood. There may be solicitation ordinances in your neighborhood. If you walk through your neighborhood handing people flyers, you might be in violation of a city ordinance. There are places like that. You have to navigate all of that. It can be very, very daunting. Now, most people say that they sell the home themselves to save on the commission. They don't want to have to pay a realtor to do all that work. They believe they can do it themselves. According to the latest statistics, only 8% of homes that are sold by the owner. That leaves 92% of homes being sold in a different way, usually by a realtor, usually by a real estate professional. Your time is very valuable. Your money is very valuable. And in instances where a homeowner was selling the home themselves and then decided to go with a realtor, the realtor netted them 6% more than what they would have gotten themselves or what they were after themselves. So if you are ready to sell a home, I would love to speak with you. I would love to interview for that job. If you are outside the Louisville, Kentucky area and you are thinking about selling your home, please reach out to me. I work with a network of realtors all over the world, all over the country, and all over this state. I will find someone who can help you as good as I would help you. I know what type of value I bring, and I would definitely look for that type of value in a realtor to help you. So if you're looking to sell a home, please contact me. All of my information is in the description of all of my videos. And if you're looking to buy a home in this red hot market, the key word, the number one thing I can tell you right now is you must be patient. Because home prices are skyrocketing, mortgage interest rates are actually staying low, and that means there are a lot of home buyers looking for homes to buy today. You may only get to see that home once before it's gone. For home sellers, that's a good thing. It means bidding wars, multiple offers, and more eyes on your property. So if you have any type of real estate need, please reach out. Again, my name is David Hittle with United Real Estate Louisville. That is my phone number right there. Personal cell phone number. It's right here. And I would be very happy and very honored to help. I thank you all for watching this week. Again, this is the David Hittle Real Estate Show brought to you by United Real Estate Louisville. And I will see you all again next Sunday. Until then, keep an eye on this market. It is red hot.